Hey everybody, Bruce here, traveling with Bruce. How you doing today? Bruce live. Surprise, surprise. I've got to go live these days because my channel is acting up at the moment and I'm having trouble figuring out how exactly to upload a video. And I thought, you know what? I have news to talk about today, and I might as well do it in a live format, kind of like a news break. It's your Tuesday afternoon TWB cruise news update. Today I'm going to talk about Royal Caribbean. There's news coming out of Royal Caribbean today, and I thought I would share some of it with you. First of all, thank you all of you joining me here on TWB, supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it. Please consider subscribing if you've never subscribed to my channel before. Thank you for giving my videos thumbs ups. And also, those of you who have joined me on my Facebook group page, I really appreciate that. And also on Instagram, Jennifer's handling the Instagram account, and we love the reaction there. If you're fighting the virus like we're all are right now, please consider going to my RedBubble store. Take a look at the new COVID masks for TWB. We've got the logos on them, and they're ready to roll. This item here has become the hottest selling item on the YouTube RedBubble site that we've ever had. Absolutely unbelievable. Today, I want to talk to you about Royal Caribbean. The news coming out, a little bit of news here and there. First of all, the Allure of the Seas. Now, the Allure of the Seas was supposed to go into a major dry dock this past March, a couple of months ago. It was supposed to be in for upwards of 60 odd days, something like that. $165 million. The ship was supposed to be upgraded to really resemble the Symphony of the Seas, similar to the same kind of major renovation that was done to the Oasis of the Seas. They were going to add the slide at the back, and they were going to really upgrade the ship, a lot of hotel upgrades and so on. That's all been scrapped because of the virus and cash flow issues that Royal Caribbean has been facing. But what they've had to do, and what they're now going to do, is they have had to do one other upgrade to the ship, and that is to do with its propulsion systems. They've been having issues with one of their azipods, and the ship now is on its way to Cadiz, will be in dry dock by the end of this week. This is Tuesday, May the 12th. Looks like in about 3 days or so, the ship will be in Cadiz. They'll put it into dry dock, and they will begin to work on the azipods and apparently navigational system upgrades. It's a 30-day dry dock that's going to be done on the ship rather than the big 60-odd day dry dock. They're only going to work. They're only going to bring in workers that actually work on engines, that propulsion specialty. They're not bringing in thousands of other contractors, so they're not going to do a bunch of like no new water slides. They're not going to do all the wiring throughout the ship. No new televisions for all the rooms. This is a quick 30-day in and out. Still expensive, but it'll probably run the company more like 40 to 50 million rather than $165 million expense. But it'll get the ship seaworthy enough to be able to handle whatever itinerary they want to give that ship going forward. I suspect if the cruise line can get cruising again in the next 3 to 6 months, if that's what they think they can do. Again, I'm still skeptical whether there'll be any cruising until the end of this year into next year and beyond. They want to at least get the ship up and running again, and then they'll plot their future major upgrade to this ship for all those other amenities that they want to add. That'll be the other $100 million that they'll spend at a later point in time. But right now, let's get this ship fully seaworthy is the motto they're going with. Let's get it into Cadiz, and let's get work done. Apparently, Spain is easing up its work rules, and this will allow the ship to go into dry dock, allows the dry dock to fully, at least more or less fully open up and get some work done. All right, so that's the news on the Allure of the Seas. Other news coming out, Royal Caribbean was supposed to file their quarterly financials ending March 31st. Those are supposed to have been filed yesterday, and they missed their filing. They had notified the SEC that due to the fact that their corporate offices are completely shut down due to all of the shutdown notices, their head office staffs have not been able to get together and form their financial committees and get all their financial work done. And so they've been working from home as sort of a patchwork of people, and trying to get their financials coordinated for filing. These are quite detailed. You're going to need your auditors involved. You're going to have a lot of senior executives sign off on these financials, and so you better be accurate and better not miss any little thing. It is just impossible for this company to get its financials done on time. So they have seeked and have been granted an extension. They have up to 45 additional days to file their financials in with the SEC, and then out to their shareholders and to the media at large. We already know what the financials are going to tell us. They're not going to tell us they're making a ton of money. They're going to tell us they're losing a ton of money. And so they're going to bring out this information in the next 6 weeks, and they'll let us in on all the gory details at that time. In the meantime, though, they did disclose today that they have been in advanced discussions and are coming to agreements with a number of their lenders for additional liquidity relief. They have come up with there are 3 unsecured loans that they have. One is 1.55 billion, one's 1.92 billion, another one is $1 billion. That's about $4.5 billion in unsecured financing. They're renegotiating those loans. I suspect that they're working out stuff like caveats, for example, where if a company borrows money for their operations or whatever they need it for, they may have to have certain assets, running, or a certain value, a book value of the company in place for the loans to stay qualified and to stay active. If the company's financials dips below a certain level or they don't hit certain markers, the loans could be called. Well, these kinds of loans, being unsecured loans, they probably have all kinds of caveats attached to them. Something to do with the fact that, I don't know, there should be cruise ships at sea with paying passengers on board, something like that. Well, they don't have that happening right now, and the lenders know it, and the company is saying to the bankers, let's work these loans and make sure we don't break any caveats or adjust existing caveats so that we can just keep working forward as we gear up later on as the year goes on and this virus hopefully goes away. The bankers are in total agreement, of course. They're not going to want to call $4.5 billion in unsecured loans against the company that isn't flowing a single dime right now. Why would you want to do that? They do happen to have a ton of cruise ships and a lot of equity, and so the two parties have been working out the new agreements. There are 2 other loans that are being renegotiated. And this is sort of adding to what we talked about a week or 2 ago, where the German government stepped up with their export credit agency. Now France is stepping up with their export credit agency, because remember, the Oasis of the Seas and the Symphony of the Seas and the Allure of the Seas, these huge ships and a bunch of others, they're all built in France for Royal Caribbean. And so they're now refinancing the Harmony of the Seas and the Ovation of the Seas. So Harmony of the Seas is right here. Of course, it's the big ship here in the front. It was about $1.1 billion, $1.1 billion to build for the company. And the financing on this ship was probably a 20 or a 25-year arrangement. And that now is being renegotiated. And to me, it sounds like they're going to be able to skip a whole year's worth of payments, not have to make any payments for a full year. And then that'll allow them to roll that additional debt into the end of the loan. Here's the other ship that's being renegotiated, the Ovation of the Seas. This is the big ship that was down in Australia and New Zealand last year. You may recall when that volcano exploded and caught a whole bunch of innocent tourists from the Ovation of the Seas. It was a terrible, tragic story. That was the ship that was where the passengers were from, and that is a picture of the Ovation of the Seas last year leaving New Zealand. That was approximately a $1 billion vessel as well. So to refinance 1/20th of this ship by extending the loan by another year and foregoing payments in the next year, this and the Harmony of the Seas, that's over $2 billion of cruise ships that you're not going to have to pay out for at the moment. So that's going to reduce the cost of Royal Caribbean's expenditure of cash for a while. So that's going to help greatly. It might mean another 400, 500 million in cash preservation. I did read today that the burn rate of cash that this company is still suffering or still having 250 to 275 million a month in cash flow going out the door for Royal Caribbean to just stay in business with its existing fleet. So 500 million in loan forgiveness. That's 2 more months of life. And the experts are saying that the company right now has about 10 months of lifetime left. With this new extension, that'll give them a year. And with those $4.5 billion of loans outstanding, they'll probably get even more time beyond that. So the company's making the kind of moves they have to make to be able to survive longer term and suffer through the shutdown, if at all possible. Now, other news that's coming out, the Odyssey of the Seas. This ship is under construction right now and has been under construction in Papenburg in Germany. It's not that every single ship Royal has is being constructed in France, but this one's being put together in Germany. And this is a photo from a couple of months ago. The back end of the ship was being completed. They have now gotten to the point where practically the entire back end of the ship is done. They have now added apparently they've added the azipods on the bottom of the ship. And in the very near future, this vessel will be literally floated out of the Papenburg facility, and they will begin their sea trials. So big news for the Odyssey of the Seas. But rumor has it that the ship is behind schedule. I still have not been able to find an official declaration of this, but rumors are that the ship might be several months behind in coming out to the cruise line and servicing clientele. I can tell you that this ship, here's a rendition of what it's supposed to look like from way above. It's a computer version. Here's another one right here. This ship is the ship that I'm supposed to use with my YouTube family, Traveling with Bruce. We're supposed to be on this ship in February of 2021 for a group cruise, but it might be that we may be delayed in that effort because the ship apparently is behind schedule. And there are rumors that it might not be out until March of 2021. But I have not yet finalized the news on that. As soon as I can, I will. And I will let, of course, all of you at Traveling with Bruce know just what's going on. Thank you. A whole bunch of you are joining in here saying hi to me. I appreciate this very much. As I say, today's show, this is supposed to be a video that I would just normally post on the channel, but unfortunately, I'm having issues with my login attempts with YouTube, and I have access to it through certain means, but not through other means. And so I'm in effect creating a video live on the spot with today's topic, which happens to be all about Royal Caribbean with all of their corporate moves going on, the behind the scenes stuff that we generally don't hear about, we don't generally see. I can tell you that when you're dealing with SEC issues, you're talking about some senior lawyers that are working on your behalf, communicating with the SEC to stay on top of all their rules and regulations. You are attempting to avoid class action lawsuits from shareholder groups that are upset that you're not running your company properly or openly. And unfortunately, every public company is in the same boat that Royal Caribbean is in pretty well, in that they are really running from home most of their staffs. And in the case of the accounting department and the folks in the finance area, they are scrambling to stay on top of all of Royal Caribbean's financial affairs. Most of you know they own Celebrity Cruise Lines. They also own Silver Sea. They have a percentage interest in a few other cruise lines, Azamara being another one. And so their operations are global. They're dealing in multiple currencies, multiple jurisdictions. They've got ships all over the place. They have expenses coming in from all over the place. They have expenditures going out everywhere. They have crew. They're trying to repatriate back home right now. They're dealing with CDC issues in the United States. They're dealing with public health issues in all of Europe, all over the UK, all over Asia. And so the folks at the Royal Caribbean are really up against it, trying to run a global corporation, in many cases from their living rooms or from a second bedroom in their homes. And they're attempting to communicate with team members because a lot of these folks work with other employees in teams, and they're trying to do they're likely doing Skype sessions, Zoom sessions, and everything else to try to stay on top of all of their corporate duties, and coordinating it all, of course, the senior management of the company, the board of directors, and they're trying to appease the SEC that everything is being run in an open, proper, transparent way. It's not easy to do. I've been involved in the running of public companies, and it is a very complex and expensive proposition. And I can imagine the logistics right now are just unbearable for a bunch of people. But there is the story from Royal Caribbean. As I said, the Allure of the Seas, their financials, refinancing a couple of ships, the Odyssey of the Seas, repatriating crew members. There's a lot going on with the company and with their running and handling of everything. I see a whole ton of you are here today. Thank you for being here with me today and enjoying this video. I hope you're enjoying it. Hope I'm not boring you with these details. And I want to remind you that I will continue to bring updates to you as news comes out. I don't have a schedule as to when my next video is happening or a live show. Please remember to, if you're not subscribed out there, if you're just watching this as a regular video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification icon. Looks like a little bell, might be right over here or somewhere down there somewhere. Hit that little bell notification icon. You'll get an update every time I do a new video and go live on YouTube. Thanks for joining me today. Stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy. And if you have any questions or comments about my video, please let me know down below. And please consider subscribing to my channel and supporting my channel on RedBubble as well. All right, guys, that's it from here in Creston, British Columbia for now. We'll keep you posted with news as we go forward. In the meantime, take care, everybody, and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.